our mind is as clear and objective. So let's stick to those specific contracts. They were not available for audit review. And it is very possible that part of those is the other contract of supply of toner, where there was no contract signed, but procurement was done. Now you see where you have a problem again. Pause there. You know, you are mixing entities. The toner contract you are talking about relates to NIRA. Oh, sorry. Let's suspend proceedings for 5 minutes. But here, 4.075 billion quote is cited by the. Let them be committal on this, because here by referring to the Auditor General to do an audit, it also has issues for now that the audit report is out. Let's get the commitment and intention of the entity as Uganda Airline going forward, so that we avoid delays and substandard outcomes in the circumstances. That's question number 1. Question number 2, Madam Bamturaki. And that can only be a general statement because you want to tell us. Let's go back to basics. We are dealing with the audit for the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. This letter of 30th September 2024. Assign pages, paginate. Now when you paginate, I would be telling you, look at page this. Yeah. You're there? This is a letter of appointment as contract manager for supply of motor vehicles lot 3 double cabin pickup. It is dated 30th September 24. How is it answering for documents which were for things that were done between July 1st, 23 and 30th June 24?
Chair, allow me to ask our procurement manager to respond.
Procurement manager.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair, for that question. Yes, sir. So for that particular case, Chair, is that the procurement process has had overlapped into the next financial that date. So it started in the financial year that was within 2023-2024, but then
you concede that this contract execution was delayed and crossed beyond the financial year in issue.
Yes.
Tell us why.
The reasons, Chair, like again I submitted last Thursday, one of the challenges we have is the financial, that we do not have the finances at some point to deliver on these contracts. As such,
where is that one in your management response? You delayed because of this. And look at updated management response at page 14 of USD 760,000 procurement of an implementation partner for the Oracle Fusion 90,000, and then the supply of consolidated IT equipment 640 Uganda shillings. Now I want us to start looking at each one in Annex K before you come in, Honorable Itungo. CEO and your team, you attached Annex K, collective Annex K. I want to call it collective Annex K. Yes, which is evidence of the documentation. Let's get the first one, that letter to Georgina, Lydia. What does it prove in terms of the query?
at page 14, in terms of page 14, which annexes it.
Yes, sir. I need to understand the question again. I beg your pardon.
Okay. In your response, that's at page 14, you make reference to Annexure K, Collective Annexure K. The first document in Collective Annexure K is this letter of 3rd September. How does it relate? You are hereby appointed to supervise contract for the supply of Lot 3, double cabin. Double cabin is the first one, the 213 million.
Yes.
So what was Nabwire's work?
Chair, Nabwire's work was to act like the contract manager. Actually, she was appointed as the contract manager to ensure that that contract is to fruition and delivered.
This is the double cabin Helix.
Yes.
Act as a contract manager for the supply. She's appointed on 3rd September 24. The delivery note indicates a date of 30th January 2025. By the time you appointed this contract manager, you now had the money. Am I right?
Yes, Chair.
When did the procurement begin for that double cabin?
Chair, I don't have the facts of the procurement right now, but I can get the facts and submit.
Do you know when you received the money?
Chair, part of what we do also in the planning is that some of the monies that we utilize for our planning of the procurement plan is internally generated. So in this case, I don't think that we're expecting money to perform on this, but to use what has been internally generated.
Okay. I think, colleagues, we may be flogging a dead horse if we are going to proceed like this. It is better to have the auditors audit these ones, give us a report, so that we are able to interrogate the process. In this case, they will have to audit the procurement process, when the procurement was commenced and when it ended. And was this Georgina already a staff at Uganda Airlines?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so this was just an assignment of additional responsibility.
Yes, Chair.
What is the ranking of an administrative officer? Yes.
John?
Let me ask John to the HR
Chair,
to
let me
respond on
ask
that.
the HR
Oh, yes.
to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Chair. The ranking of an admin, we have different rankings, and she's at officer level. That means after the assistant managers, she's next in line.
She's next after the officer?
After the assistant manager, we have the officer.
Isn't this person too junior to be assigned this kind of responsibility? Contract manager?
Thank you, Chair, for your question. It depends. I want to be polite how I answer the question.
You have a duty, but I don't mind even if you're not polite, as long as I get the answer.
No, I will not be impolite. We don't have an admin manager. So she's the one that manages that area of administration, sir. So her roles, much as it's officer here, her roles are more than what you'd consider an officer to be doing.
Okay.
So to answer your question, she's not too junior to manage this role, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable.
Colleagues, I think Nebuitungo, then Deputy Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair, in his submission,
page 12.
contract number 2. That is procurement of additional GSEs, pushback and conveyor belts. We're at page 12. We look at the management response. Contract number 2. The manufacturing for pushback and conveyor belts commenced upon 30% advance payment. Factory acceptance test was done and shipping was made on 19th February 2025. Chair, when you go to page 11 of the Auditor General's report, page 11, we look at the accounting officer explained that the procurement of additional GSEs main deck.
Wait. I don't seem to have my page 11 here.
Page 11 of the Auditor General's report.
Yes, this is the one I'm looking at. This is page 10. This is 12. Yes, 11.
Yes,
Deputy Chair.
page 11, at the top of it, there was the accounting officer explained that the procurement of addition, but my concern is exactly the factory acceptance test was done and shipping is scheduled for 7th January 2025. At the management response, they are talking about 19th February of 2025. Mean there is also a delay. Further delay. We need the explanation of specifically what happened over this.
I don't know. They can answer, but it is not to me a very substantial issue because it's a delay of about how many days? 12 days.
30.
Yes, by the time they were responding to the auditor in somewhere before December. By the time they prepared these ones, the responses, it was after delivery. So they were now exact on when the delivery was made.
We need explanation.
Please explain.
Thank you, Chair. In the last sitting we had, when we were here, this page, Honorable Chair.
On their readiness, their strategy going forward.
Oh yes, that question is supposed to be answered.
And they haven't yet answered.
They have not, I agree. We sustained that question and they are going to answer it.
Yeah.
Yes, but I wanted to say, let this be audited, and if that necessitates, have...
The engineer is telling us they intend to acquire additional aircrafts, but he's short of telling us which one, not CRJ, because which one, so that we don't go into the circle of those without repair. But and Chair, why I'm raising it, why I'm raising it is that when you look at the recommendation of the Auditor General on page 14, the Auditor General is saying that the entity, the accounting officer must ensure that all their core mandate, bodies are within their mandate, are reflected in their strategic and annual work plan. And we may need to interrogate the answers of the engineer, whether actually they constitute the details of the strategic and annual work plans. Because before you talk about resources and mobilizing resources, and I saw in part of their response, they even talking about negotiating with, I think, financial institutions for patient capital. So we need these details. These are, because these are people who may now probably mortgage our aircrafts for money without disclosure. If you are negotiating for financial, with financial institutions, are you is the Ministry of Finance aware? 2, what kind of financial institutions are you negotiating? What are they giving and what are we taking?
Honestly.
Chair, this is within their management response.
You see, I'm reading the same response. I have already asked them to give us the details of the 8 aircrafts. I have also given them an assignment on what informs their suggestion to do the purchases. Now, while we are doing this oversight, I do not want us to subsume the board that we are going to now decide for them on the at a strategic level. That they will go to the extent of even telling us which financial institutions they are negotiating with, what they are going to do. Really, if you've worked for any bank before, I do not think there is a bank or a financial institution that would want to be paraded here and the terms under negotiations go on camera. I would not allow you to go that far. For the details, I think I have guided on sufficient details that we need as a committee for us to inform ourselves in terms of the strategic and the policy orientation. I want us to limit it to that. So when we receive their report, that will advise us on the policy intervention that we need to suggest to Parliament and to the country. So don't go into those financials where who you are talking to and how you want to mortgage our airline. No. Whether they have approval from finance. Ministry of Finance, for your information, is a shareholder, okay, and provides directorship, not so? Yes. So that Ministry of Finance bit is already catered for.
My critical concern was that if they are to engage into negotiation, at least as Ugandans, we don't anticipate them mortgaging our aircraft, those we already have, in anticipation of those they require.
Don't mortgage our aircraft.
Because
that's the statement you want to hear?
Yes.
Now, what do you want them to mortgage? Don't mortgage our CRGs, okay? Then what do you want them to mortgage?
The government collects taxes from various sources.
Have you addressed your mind to the mandate of Parliament in the first place and this committee? Now, what you are saying is a policy recommendation which we can make to Parliament. Let government guarantee the loan, if any. The preliminary would be to say, don't even borrow. Government, provide them with the money they need. You understand? Because some of us are against excessive borrowing. But that's not our mandate to decide whether they will borrow or not. Because supposing somebody tells you, we are not in a position to raise that money. But that's our discussion, in-house boardroom discussion. We will handle that. It's not for this meeting. Deputy Chair.
Yeah, thank you for number 2.
At page.
That is page 16 of management response.
Okay.
Only 30% of planned activities were executed. And that is the status of execution. Page 16.
Yes, Deputy Chair, what is your question?
Status of execution, only 30% of planned activities were executed.
I guided earlier, Deputy Chair, that they update us in percentage terms of the activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically, my concern was on land acquisition.
Yes, land acquisition, that could be a question.
Yes, at the airport. So what the details?
They are going to give us the details, right? on each and every one. Let's look at
Chair,
yes.
we need also a copy. We need this copy of the cabinet proposal for acquiring additional aircraft, which was sent to the cabinet.
Okay.
I think it's better we
Please
look
share
at
with
this
us.
copy.
Share with us. Today is Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Honorable. We will
Latest
share.
by to end of close of business tomorrow. Let's
Yes, sir.
have
We will share the same.
Okay.
Chair, I wanted to clarify that you guided well. We have a document on the fleet process and what guided the decisions from the fleet team. So we will provide that and it will answer Honorable's questions as well. And Honorable shouldn't worry that we will mortgage the airplane because it's a law. We cannot do that. It's a law by the land, sir. Thank you though for the question, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Chair.
Ffe nga bannansi era ng'ababaka tuluubirirwa okulaba nga ennyonyi y'eggwanga ekisooka eweereza bulungi, kyakubiri okuba nti ematiza abo beeweereza, ate ekyekusatu okuba nti tekola loosi kubanga esaasanyizibwako ssente zaabwe wa musolo, era tetwagala abagiddukanya bafuuke bannantagambwako nti wabawo ebirumira nti tebagambwako. Kati bw'otunulyanga Auditor General's report ekulaga nti mu bimu ku birumira ekyakolera ddala loss oba okufiiriza oba okukola loss oba okufiirwa okusinga okuyingiza, nga tutunuulira lwaki ebyandigiyambye okukola amagoba tebiteereddwako ssira, ng'olaba nti mu managinga yaayo ng'ennyonyi mulimu bingi ebibuuzo bye tusigadde twewundaganya. Bwe bakulaga nti mu bitabo by'omubalizi wa gavumenti agamba nti n'ebimu byalina okwekenneenya tebaabimuwa, kitwetera ebibuuzo. Bwe batugamba nti baagala kugula ennyonyi endala, kirungi nnyo okuweza fleet ey'ennyonyi eziwerako, naye ate baleme kuddamu okugula ziri ezitalina sipeeya, ezitalina lipeeya, kubanga ekampani yali ezikola yaggalawo n'okuzikola n'ekuguza Mitsubishi. Aye Mitsubishi negamba yo talina ddamu kukola ziri zisiyara Jesmay Bombardier ziri bakolanga. Kati zino zo tutubidde nazo era akaseera kasobola okutuuka ng'odinya Bombardier ng'oluggi lwa Boeing. Kati tetwagala kudda mu bintu ng'ebyo, twagala bagamba okugula endala nga batulaze mu bulambulukufu nnyonyi kika ki era bweteefuteefu ki bwe bayina nga waliwo pulaani n'okulaga engeri ezigenda okutransakitingibwamu. Ekyokubiri mu bitabo byabwe nga twagala babeere balambulukufu nti lwaki bakyakola nnyo loss, naddala emisango gyonna gye babavunaanye otunulira likodi engeraga nti bateesa kugisasula, bateesa ku nsasula yaagyo ng'ekisinga gyekuusa ku ntambuza y'emigugu, egimu ne gyekuusa oba ku nkwata y'emigugu, egimu ne gyekuusa ku nsonga z'abakozi, nti abakozi ekisooka kiraga nti abasinga bali mu kkooti. Kati walina okubayo ebibuuzo lwaki abakozi aba airline babeera mu kkooti. Kino kiyinza oba tekyogeddwako nnyo, naye mu Auditor General's report kibaddemu nga kigazi nti abakozi baba nga emisango lipooti bano gye batulaze gye baleese mu bujulizi bwabwe ng'eraga nti emisango gye bakolako mingi era nkibuuzizza egyekuusa ku nsonga z'abakozi. Kyabulabe bw'olaba nga abakozi bali discontented nga si bamativu, kiyogera ebigambo bingi nnyo bikiraga okunoonyerezaako, era tubali tubabuuza mukinogedde mutya eddagala ekuusa ku flights okuba nti zibeera cancelled. Kyanjawulo tugamba nti mwagala ennyonyi endala okugaziya routes, n'otugamba nti wawe ze baliizinga ze bapangisa, naye n'ezina eziriwo routes ze bakonfaminga tusuubira nti baali bapulanize bulungi. Lwaki flights zigenda mu maaso okuba cancelled? Kubanga ogenza okwesanga tubanenya kukola loss, naye ate ezimu ku loss nga ziva mu kuba nti oba cancellinga babawaabira, ate buli keesi egenze mu kooti nga babawaabidde ku cancelled flight bekomitinga kusasula oba kuliwa. Kati kiraga nti waliwo ebyetaaga okwekenneenya mu operation y'ennyonyi eno, naddala mu flights bwe ziba nga zitambula ne zibeera cancelled waliwo ebibuuzo. Bw'otunula mu procurement engeri gye bagulamu ebintu ekyalimu ebirumira, ffe tulowooza nti wayinza okubaawo abanene waggulu eyo mu Ministry ya Works oba mu State House oba mu kiwabe oba abasirikale abali wansi nga bebawa bano abantu ebiragiro, wadde kiyinza obutavaayo wano, naye ng'olaba nti lwaki abantu abakugu nga bano batulaga banyeremeddwa okukola kye bansaanye okukola n'okuwa obuli lipooti ezirejula naddala banaagula ekintu oba na-procuring ekintu. Kati waliwo ebibuuzo, of course waliwo okwenyola okubaddewo ku nsonga za ssente eziri ku account. Bw'otugamba nti olina ssente ku account naye twagamba amagoba ge zikoze wasigalawo ebibuuzo era tukiruddeko nnyo nti yes mulina sente ze mufikisinze ku nsonga zonna ze mwewadde naye lwaki teziraga nti mwakolako amagoba kuba sente bwe zirula ku akawunti zikola amagoba kati amagoba go gaani era kyebabuuza nti abaffe wandibawo lukwe okuzeegabanya ne muba nga temutuukiriza contract na muzi implementinga mbudde lwakwegabanya nga mwagala zisooke zibere ku akawunti mukole amagoba so ebimu bingi bye tutunulira mu ntambula z'ennyonyi yeggwanga of course ogula fleet endala kiyinza okuba si kibi naye baguze ennyonyi ki ekyokulala nga twaga kumanya nti zino eziriwo zo strategy ki kubanga tetunannyonnyola bulungi information gye tulina eraga nti kampani yazikola ya Canada yaggalawo netunda n'olukusa olukola ebyekwata ku Bombardier ne CRJ neruguza Mitsubishi ate Mitsubishi tenaddamu yo tetandika nga bikola era tenalaga tegera bikola bagenda zikolera ki tugambe nti zandifuuka poteya oba tujja kwesanga ziriko spare wa buli kika kati ebibuuzo binene byetwekenneenya naye nga yonga ennyonyi y'eggwanga twagala okuba nti improvinga mu nkola yaayo n'abakozi bano olaba nti abakozi botambula ebweru abakozi bannayuganda tebaweereddwa nnyo mwaganya bwogenda ebweru ofisi za Uganda Airline zirimu bagwira kati twagala okulaba nti ne bannayuganda bafuna omukisa ku employment okuba nti bakola ennyonyi y'eggwanga so yemu ku bye twekenneenya wano nti wakati w'okuba nti babadde badojinga oluusi ne bajja ne tulemeddeko ate tujja kulemerako kulaba nti tufuna value for money ng'abawi b'omusolo ffe kyetufa okuba nti bwe baba okugula kwonna kuyitire mu makubo agamenyikiddwa aga procurement oba gavumenti mweyitire okugula kubanga gabeeramu okuba nti mulina okulanga ne muwa omwaganya ababiddinzi oba balina abasobola okuba nti abayiwaayo ga nti tubaguza ab'enjawulo ekyokubiri ne mugera mu evaluation emanyikiddwa mu mateeka bwaba bayise mu process emanyikiddwa mu mateeka issue teyandibadde nnyo ya muwendo wabula yandibadde yakuyita mu mateeka kuba tulabye nti bwe babuuza ekyekuusa ku fuel oba ku mafuta g'ennyonyi nga banwa oba ba optingako ate ababaseera okusinga ku bandibadde affordable oba abataseera kati birako ebibuuzo twagala ogula kw'ennyonyi ne procurement efuuka eddiiru kubanga kirabise nga contract zino zirimu ensonga otajino yatugamba nti tewaliwo kuwa status report na progress nti abaffe gwe bakolonda contract manager aba atuuseewa era ddi n'okulaga entambula ya procurement yonna nga bwe kibali kirabika mu procurement ezimu ng'emu ku motoka ze baagula nga teraga nti abaffe bwe bakuwa ogigula mwatambula mutya lwaki tebawa report era otajina tulaze nti tebawa nnyo performance ne progress report ekiyinza okuviirako either okufuna services eziri wansi oba okulwawo okufuna service bwebabawo service kati ne mu procurement twagala ku insistinga nti bwebaba bakuprocuringa nnyonyi kisooka batwage mu work plan yaabwe kuba kuliko tekubaddeeko work plan era nkyendesa nkibabuuzizza ekyokubiri naye otajina kisaitinze batwage mu work plan ne strategy ebayina na nnyonyi ki era procurement bagenda kukozesa procurement ki tetusuubira kugula ate ennyonyi zitakyalina lipeya kyetusimbyeko essira tebaba procurement batubuulire ennyonyi ki bulandi ki type ki naye ate bawa omwaganya procurement nga wemanyikiddwa mu mateeka ddali okuba nti batransactinga nga ddiiru ojabuzi n'obagamba nze ninawo ennyonyi newoba otunda bugaali.
From the report and the statement of the accounting officer, Uganda Airlines now operates 17 routes, and she mentioned them: Nairobi, Juba, Somalia, Lagos, and the rest. But with those limited planes they have, they can operate 17 routes. In their strategic plan, they want to purchase more 80. And I think when they have more 80, they should be able to cover them, many routes as they can. But also, there is a strategic plan of having internal flights, that it is shorter to use a plane and cheaper to go to Kisoro, to go to Guru, to go to Mbarara, and operate within that. Ugandans and stakeholders can also enjoy the services of Uganda Airlines. So they can only have that if they have extra 8 planes they want to purchase. So my proposal is that we should support, government should support, so they can have those planes and they're able to operate as many routes as possible, including our internal flights. No. Kakati ab'ekitongole ky'ennyonyi bamaze otutegeeza nti kati wetwogeera bayina routes 17. Routes 17 ze bayina bazikola nga bakozesa ennyonyi entono ze bayina. Naye nti mu pulaani yaabwe baagala kulaba nti bafuneko n'ennyonyi ezikolera mu ggwanga ezigenda mu bisawo ebyenjawulo, Gulu, Kisoro, Nyakisarra, Mbarara n'ebitundu ebirala ebisobola kuba nga bakozesamu ennyonyi. Naye eyo service eya internal flight tebayinza gikola kubanga ennyonyi ze balina tezimala. So baagala bafune ennyonyi ezimala, nti bwe bafuna ennyonyi empya eneneko, kati ennyonyi ebadde egenda e Nairobi ejja kusigala nga esavinga as an within internal flight services. So njagala government ebawagire bafune ennyonyi ezimala basobole okwongera ku routes ze batambula, ate n'ekirala ennyonyi bwe zibeera entono singa emu eba nga tesobola kugenda kyova babadde bagamba nti oluusi bayalinga ennyonyi nga abatambuze bangi naye ennyonyi tebaziina. So ndowooza ekyokubawo ennyonyi ennyingi kijja kubaako bingi byekikola, ate kijja kwongera ne services, ate n'ekirala bajja kufuna standby plane in case emu tesobodde oba nga waliwo delay mu services.